Patrick,
Huh?
where are you now?
I'm in South County Dublin in a place called Nua or Newcastle, which is for people who drive up from Limerick to Dublin on the M7. When you see the Pucheen Still in Rathcoole, the big pub on the right-hand side, I'm the other side of the motorway, about 2 miles in a small, tiny village, in a village called Newcastle.
Right, excellent. So how does it feel being on the boxes?
Yeah. Well, we've half the boxes. It's funny because it's a bit of a technical wonder I'm here because up to 2 hours ago I had no Wi-Fi, but I had 2 UPC boxes. I had tried loads of cables. I tried, but I'm here. See, so it's all wonderful and it all works out. You can't see the boxes because I've hidden them. But they're hiding somewhere. I have nowhere to cook. I have no showers. There is loads of stuff missing in the house, but the most important thing for people to understand is that, like, it's fun and it's an adventure. So it's a mindset. When you're missing certain basic necessities from your life, and you look at things differently. So this is a fun adventure, right? The fact that I can't cook for the last 48 hours is a fun adventure. So, like, you get to, in the middle of a pandemic, trying to find food. Hot food isn't always easy, but it's fun and it's an adventure, and that's the way we live our life, Justina.
True. So what I like about it is that Patrick Mercie is quite known for turning every disadvantage into advantage. So we're living in a very difficult times, Patrick, for everybody. Essentially, we would be meeting in a room full of people where you can feel the atmosphere, when you can touch each other, where you can chat, where you can just be together and feel together. And I must say that together as one in the situation of a pandemic, it's very hard because what we are missing is essential human contact, and not just talking to an iPod or a laptop or something and having 20 hours of screen time a day, So tell me, do you have anything to say in relation to surviving it? We might have some technical, difficulties.
And we're back. Hello.
You're back. Yay. I don't know if you heard me. Did you hear me?
You said that the last I heard was to say that the human contact that we were missing and the human connection.
Okay, so I might repeat myself very briefly, that basically, do you have any survival guide to the fact that together as one is quite hard nowadays when people have been deprived of the very essential and basic stuff like human contact?
Absolutely. So the first thing with everything that happens in life is a mindset. Okay, so what's your mindset? The mindset and the communication that we've been having for the last 8 months is about things or restrictions and things we can't do. Yeah, that's most what we hear. What we're restricted to and what we can't do and what we have to do. They're the 3 things that we've been hearing, right? What we have not been hearing is what we can do, right? So it's a mindset. The first thing is a mindset about all the things I can do. And when I started writing down one day, I took a pen and all the things I can do, I had to stop after 3 pages. Yeah, so it's all a mindset. What are the things I can do? Can I reach out to my family? Can I make it easier for my mom to communicate with me, even though she lives in a different country and she can't get visitors? Can I reconnect with nature? Can I use this time to write a book? Can I use this time to... So when I started writing down just 2 words, I can, and then whenever a situation happened where I felt like I was out of control, I just took the piece of paper with I can and then 3 dots and then started writing at the back of that the things I could actually do. So that when people told me, yeah, but we can, yeah, but we can, yeah, but we can, and they were very valid points, that I then said, yeah, but this is what we can do. And from what I can do comes this kind of creativity, which I know the people I'm looking at here in front of me are full of. And when you trust that creativity, And the process of that creativity, then the things I can do become things that take up my entire day. And at the end of the day, regardless of what happened, I felt not necessarily always fantastic, but I felt I had spent my time doing things I could actually control. So for instance, right now, I can't cook, right? Because there's no oven, there's no hob, there's nothing here for me to make hot food. So I can go like, oh my God, and start panicking or start getting anxious about it. And then you're ringing people and, or you can go like, so what can I do? Right? So I can download, and this sounds really simple, right? I can download Just Eat on my app, right? And see like how many flipping restaurants are here. And just for the next 2 or 3 days, I'll try the local restaurants out. I've just moved here, so that's a good little thing to do, isn't it? So from that, I found a pizza place in Clondalk, and they're absolutely amazing, right? So they'll get me back again. So I wouldn't have had that opportunity if I didn't have that I can attitude to a certain extent. So that's basically that.
So basically, I can.
Yeah, and then 3 dots, and you stick that on your fridge. Just write down I can with 3 dots on a piece of paper. Stick it in your office, stick it in your fridge, stick it in your wallet, put it as your screensaver, whatever it is, I can. Right?
What has made my lockdown bearable was also this attitude of trying to see what actually I can do to come back to the depths of Justina, to whatever she used to enjoy doing, that I never had time for. And take it clay modeling, and take it dancing, and take it whatever it is that gives me joy. I'm not talking about doing something professionally. I'm talking about enjoying the process just for the sake of enjoying it and not for the outcome of it,
Yes.
So just having fun doing things rather than having in mind, what's going to be the outcome? Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you actually doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I need to, and I want to feel this way.
Yes, I understand that. Absolutely. And that is why, like, sometimes you make decisions and then they come home to roost. That's a good expression, like when a decision you made came home to roost. I must say, I've been grateful so many times in the last 8 months that about 10 years ago, I stopped watching television. I'm grateful for that on a daily basis now, that I don't have that addiction anymore. So I've been really, really grateful in this pandemic, because I'm not on the TV every day seeing all the things we can't do, and I can't do, and I shouldn't do, and I have to do. So that's something I'm grateful for. It's that kind of thing. And thanks for the recommendation, Market. So that's the point. Can I tell a quick story? I love
stories.
Quick story. So there's this couple, husband and wife. It doesn't have to be, but they're husband and wife. And the husband was under severe pressure, right? Because there was less work coming in. He wasn't sure, was he going to hold his job? The mortgage is still there. The kids are going to school, but they're going to school, and it's not an easy time for people to bring their children to school and get them back afterwards, and the whole stress that brings with. And everything was building. The targets were still having to be met at work, and it's building, and the stress and the pressure was building. And his wife could see that. And one evening after the kids had gone to school, she had the foresight, and she took her husband to the kitchen, and she put 3 pots of water on the oven, on the rings, on the hob, 3 pots of water. And she took out some potatoes, right? And now, potatoes in their raw form are very hard, right? They're kind of hard enough, you can't press through them, they're hard. So she put a few potatoes in 1 pot of water. Then she took the eggs, a carton of eggs, and took 3 eggs out. And eggs, they have a tiny little shell, and then they're very soft and gooey on the inside. So she put the 3 eggs in another pot of water. And then she took some coffee, ground coffee. And ground coffee, it smells beautiful, doesn't it? A lot of people, like when the first thing in the morning, can you imagine yourself right now smelling the coffee? It smells absolutely gorgeous. See, I can see people. You can smell the coffee, can't you? It's something that's real and that's lovely. So she poured the coffee, the ground coffee, into the 3rd pot of water. And what she did then is she lit a fire under all 3 the rings and brought those 3 pots to the boil. And when they were all 3 boiled for a few minutes, she turned the oven off and then took out a potato. And when she took the potato, she put a glove on because the potato was warm. And then took the potato, and the potato crumbled in her hand and fell to pieces. And then she took the egg that was really soft in advance and tapped it off the table, and the egg had gone hard from its soft state before. And then she took the coffee and put a sieve and poured the coffee into a cup and drank from it, and the coffee was beautiful and wonderful and rich and warm and soothing. All three elements had been put under the same amount of pressure. One thing that was hard before it was put under pressure became soft and crumbled and fell to pieces. The second thing that was soft, when put under that pressure, became really hard and hard to get into and hard to crack. And the third thing had transformed itself from its original state under the same pressure into something completely new and something completely refreshing and different. So my question to everyone listening is, which of the three are you? There is no right or wrong answer. Which of the three are you right now? And my second question for you is, which of the three do you want to be? I'm going to shut up for a second so people can think about that. Right? It's very appropriate around this time to think about that. Right? I like telling stories. So that's what it's at right now. That is when I said the I can with the three dots, that's what it's about, right? I know because I used to be, right? I used to be the potato. I used to be really hard and tough because I was in business and I was in management for years and years and years. And I was in corporate management, and I got into higher management where the targets were not 10,000 or 20,000 or a turnover of 1 million. No, like 1 million was what we made in a week. Right? Or sometimes in a couple of days. And I was in corporate management and I was hard, but then I crumbled under pressure. And I used to drink more than I should, and I used to eat the wrong foods more than I should, and I used to smoke 30 cigarettes a day, and that was me being a potato, right? Crumbling under pressure. I like to think, and people can disagree with me, I've kind of turned into a bit of coffee now.
Tell us more about it. What happened? Because
exactly.
What happened to you that you have left this corporate business and you have totally transformed? And remind me, how many marathons did you run so far? Like up to today, how many has it been?
124 so far.
124 marathons.
And full and ultra marathons, yeah. And that's just one side effect. That's only one side effect, Justine. You know, it's a side effect. I like
I love those side effects. Now give me the pill.
my second side effect. My second side effect.
How did it happen that from all the wrong food eater, all the potato, hard man skin, you went into 124 marathons? And how many years did it take you to run that?
Let me just think.
When did you start running? That must be my first question. When the transformation started?
It was 98.
Okay. So how many years did it take?
2008. I'm actually missing up dates here. Like I've lost track of time, which is a sense of flow, right? 2008 was my first Dublin marathon.
Right.
October 2008. So that's in 12 years.
Amazing.
So what happened was, why I do what I do as a coach and a PE and all that kind of stuff is because I don't want people to go through what I went through, which is burnout and severe stress attacks. I thought I was having a heart attack one day, but luckily it was only a severe stress attack. It masqueraded as a heart attack. You know, the blurred vision, the things, burnout, which is not a fun thing. So I don't want people to go through that, which is why I do what I do, right? Because that's what it was for me. It was that moment when my body said, you have had enough, right? And when one of the last times I went to a GP around that time, he said, you won't make 50. And I'm happy to say I've gone past that now, right? And most of my activities, I feel fresher now than I did when I was in my late 30s. And that's another one of the side effects. So how did I do that? I needed a seminal moment. I needed that moment in my life where my body gave up. I don't want other people to go through that because that's not nice. So it's a bit similar to what we've gone through as a society when we look at issues, right? If you take your mind back to before the mid 1980s, 1990s, what we used to do, especially around mental health, but also in physical health, was we used to fix issues. So when something wasn't working, we fix it, right? So every time when someone got sick, we cured the illness. So like you have mental issues, we used to medicate a lot more on mental health issues, etc., right? So we used to fix issues. Then in the mid 1980s, early 90s, people like Martin Seligman, Karen Reivich, Angela Duckworth, etc., came up with the concept of positive psychology, which is now a recognized, part of psychology is positive psychology. And what they started doing was preventing issues from happening, right? So we went from fixing what is wrong with people to like preventing from these things from happening. And now, luckily, what we have is an understanding that if we start actively promoting well-being, we will do the other two far more effectively because they won't happen that often. So what's now happening is is a drive to promote well-being everywhere, in the workplace, in your relationships, at home, in your own head, in your own space. So it's all about promoting well-being, because if you promote well-being actively, then you will not only prevent issues, you won't have to fix that many issues because they won't occur that readily. So promoting well-being is what I stand for, and this is what I want to say to people. There is so many things you can do to promote your own well-being. Imagine never having to go to a GP anymore. Can anyone who's listening imagine that? Except for stuff that we all need to go for, right? But can you imagine not getting the cold or the flu anymore every winter? Can you imagine that? Now, this is not just personal experience. This is not just me, Justina. This is like all of the people I've worked with, people who are doing the same work as me. I thought it was just me, and I was a freak because I haven't been to a GP in 11 years. And I thought, I'm just lucky, right? But then I see around me, all these people go, well, I haven't been for 14. Well, I haven't been for 12. Well, I haven't been for 7. Right? And it's not because GPs are bad people. It's just because we don't get sick anymore. And we don't get sick anymore because of a lifestyle change. Not because of anything magical or whatever, but just a lifestyle change that prevents us from becoming sick. So that's what the promotion of well-being is all about.
So essentially, the survival guide is also looking into ourselves and into the lifestyle. And I think lockdown had a huge impact on people realizing as well that they've been just running mad. And it was quite hard to stop. First of all, we couldn't kind of get used to the stop button because how come if it was never on? You know, we were kind of accelerating. And then you kind of feel, oh my God, what is going on? Somebody put a stop, and what do? Well, you stop, but how? My mind is going, and that was going on with me. This is what I found, like everything was still working, you know, and this body was in a stop, and this was going, oh my God. So very hard to even process it.
Yes. And that's why I mentioned, like, the mindset thing. That is why that's so important. So there's loads of things, small things people can do to start creating those habits of stopping and taking time for yourself. So there's loads of very simple little things that have been proven scientifically to work, but they're simple little things. People often look too deep into what changes need to be made. Changes can be something really simple. So in the morning, the first thing I do is write down 3 things I really want to do that day. Well, it's not the first thing. I'm lying. The first thing I do is take the dog out for a walk, right? But that's me connecting with nature, and that is really, really good for me. So that puts me in the right frame of mind to do the rest of the day. Because my dog loves me. I love my dog. I get to go into nature. What's not to like about that? So that's the first thing I do. But after that, I literally take time to say, like, what are 3 things I really want to do today? And that can be really small things as well, right? I haven't had a hot chocolate for like 5 months. So today I'm going to make a hot chocolate. Right? I want to have a hot chocolate. That's simple, right? Everyone can do that, right? It's not that complicated to make a hot chocolate. But if you in the morning say, like, that's something I really want to do, then your mindset changes because, like, you're looking forward to that hot chocolate, right? And that moment that's going to come. Someone said to me when I said this on radio the other day on one of my shows, someone said, I actually stopped and took a bath. And then the work I needed to do just stopped for an hour. And I just took a bath, Patrick. And it felt so fantastic, right? And so we can all do these little tiny things that are really good for us. And that is promoting well-being. So writing down 3 things you want to do that day every morning, try that for 2 weeks and let me know how you get on, right? I see everyone hopefully writing now like, oh, I haven't had a hot chocolate for 3 weeks either. Woo-hoo.
We haven't had a hot chocolate for 3 weeks. Yeah. That's actually a good one. I think also the trick is just try to find something simple that makes you happy, because we very often go into these huge spaces of, oh, that will definitely make me happy, or that will make me happy. And then it's all more again about gaining and getting and getting and getting, instead of trying to see those very simple moments and very basic things and try to find beauty in it. Because that Julia Cameron, that was my lifesaver during lockdown and the artist way. So I was working with Julia solid 12 weeks doing all her exercises just to keep sane. And this is what I have found from her instructions, and I was following it like a prayer. Okay, that's my exercise for today. A, B, C, D, F, etc. So, and I found that looking into the smallest of things and looking at them in a different way, as if they're, where the best thing that has ever happened to me, made me go through it. So that's my experience. I don't know, maybe anybody wants to have a question or want to engage in a conversation or ask something, or obviously we're not in a private room, so bear that in mind.
I know. Can I add something to that then, Justina? Because when you've done the 3 things that day, right? Sleep is really important for human beings, right? I recently interviewed a sleep coach, someone who specializes in that, Joanne Callahan from Athy in County Kildare. And sleep is really important. So when you said earlier, right, my body wanted to stop, but in my head, everything was going, that's impossible for you then to have a good night's sleep, right? If you don't have a good night's sleep, a few nights in a row, that affects everything. It affects your immune system. It affects your well-being. It affects your mental health. You can't actually function properly. There is so many things this affects. So to ease yourself down, another simple thing people can do is at the end of the day, remind yourself of the 3 best things that happened that day. Even if you had a really, really bad day, some good things happened. Like a friend of you reached out and took time to talk to you, right? Or, the dog for once actually remembered to crap outside instead of inside, right? So there's simple things like that. There's always good things that happen during your day, but we're so conscious of everything else that we don't actually take time to do. This is like taking compliments, right? When someone says, oh, that's a beautiful dress, we all know the response is, yeah, no, I got it in pennies, right? So we don't take compliments. We also don't celebrate the good things that happen. We put our head full of the stuff that went wrong, and we don't celebrate the good things that happen. So at the end of each day, I like to just write down the 3 blessings exercise. And that comes from positive psychology as well. It's about the 3 things that happened that day that you're either thankful for, that you're grateful for, or that were so wonderful. And then when you remember those things, go sit in that energy. Feel that moment as if it's happening right now. Can you imagine if you have that cup of hot chocolate, right? And just before you go to bed in the last half hour, you just remember how you felt having that first cup of hot chocolate in 5 months, and how that felt for you to have that, or whatever that thing is you did, and sit in that feeling and go into that feeling and enjoy that feeling and just feel the sensation in you. Because I'm thinking of something now and everything is actually tingling, right? My chest is tingling, my fingers are tingling, because I remembered something really wonderful that happened today. Right? So it's easy to go sit in that energy. So I'm actually changing the chemical composition of my body right now. right? Because I'm producing different hormones and different kind of chemicals in my body by thinking about that. Right? So that's, if you can imagine, if you do that about 3 things before you go to bed at night, yeah, your mind that was racing, Justina, will no longer be racing. Right? It will be sitting there. It's like you're doing a meditation on yourself, but just one that's really easy, remembering 3 things that happened to you that day. Can I add one more thing? You see this? Yeah, a pen and a piece of paper. For people whose mind is always racing at night, put a pen and a paper on your nightside locker, so that when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're thinking about 74 things you need to do tomorrow, you just write them on the piece of paper so they get out of your head, and then go back to bed and try and sleep again. See, it's all really simple.
I believe what we might do is I would essentially stop live recording so that we can stay in this closed room. And if there is any question, we just have it between ourselves instead of going live. So yeah, we're going to say thank you to our listeners on the live streaming. We're going to now move into the webinar room and take the liberty of a free chat with Patrick. I believe if you have any questions, you can write under this event, and Patrick will be happy to answer or connect with you at a later stage. So Patrick Mercie at Intentional Academy, this is where we are at. So thank you very much. Thank you, Patrick, for coming in. We're staying in the webinar room and we're just saying goodbye to our live audience.
Bye.
Excellent. So we're out of the live. So if anyone, we can feel more relaxed in a way if you wanted to ask Patrick something or just have a general chat about essentially the survival guide. But I will tell you that myself and Patrick, we know each other how many years, Patrick, now?
I actually, that's a good question, Justina. Would it be 10, 15?
I would say 10 is the minimum.
Minimum,
yeah. And we've been kind of growing together in certain mindsets and accompanying each other along the way of changes that are happening in our lives. So I'm very grateful for that friendship. And I must say you this, that thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come on board today. And
you're so welcome, Justina. Yeah. I say you're one of the reasons I will visit Limerick again very often, right?
Yes. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Tell us about your plans now in Dublin. You're far away, and how the survival guide, what other tips can you give us that you're going to apply in your new life settings?
Every day at 8 o'clock at night, this goes off. It doesn't be switched on again till 8 o'clock in the morning. I've not lost any business. I've not missed out on anyone not being able to reach me, etc. I still have a landline, right? And the people who are near and dear to me have my landline number. I've now an 01 number, believe it or not. But anyway, I'm away from the 06 one. But like, I switched this off for 12 hours a day. It's amazing the difference that makes. When I'm on my laptop at night, I can still have the odd Facebook message and whatever, but I control my consumption of that. Because like I don't have it switched. I don't have Facebook on my laptop the whole time. Whereas on the phone, it's automatically on and it just goes like bing, 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 bing. Like, and it's just not necessary. Like not everyone has to switch it up at 8 o'clock at night, right? But it is recognized now in neuroscience, in psychology, etc., that these devices are partly responsible for the mental health crisis that we have for the moment in the world. And why that is because of a thing called confirmation bias and social desirability bias, and there's a few others. What happens is Patrick, just like everybody else, only puts his good stuff on social media, right? When I have a really, really shit day or something goes wrong or whatever, I'm not going to take a picture of the thing that went wrong, put it on Facebook and go like, look at me, this went wrong in my life. So most of the time what we do is we put all the good stuff. So people who are not in the right space then look at these social media, see all their friends and peers having a fantastic day and a fantastic time, or so they think. They feel even worse now because they're not enjoying themselves like everybody else. So for me, one big thing is like, yeah, social media, they can help you, they can guide you. But like, what if you started doing 12 hours instead of 24? Or 16 even, or 20, start slow, right? Yeah, absolutely. So that's another tip, Justina, is to like get rid of, like, I haven't read a paper in about 15 years. I don't really watch TV that much anymore. And I lowered my social media consumption. And guess what? I still know what's happening in the world because it's everywhere, right? It's absolutely everywhere, right? So tonight, I might watch TV tonight just for light entertainment. I might switch on the toy show. I haven't seen it in years. So do you know what? It's a bit of a laugh. Do you know, whether you like it or not? So it's that, taking time for yourself. Yeah.
I think it's essentially about the balance as well, just to find the balance in everything and just see what actually what's too much in your life and what you're missing out on in terms of having it too little. Like very often we have just too little fun, and not fun in a way of expensive things around us, but fun being just coming back to your childhood again and just making that hot chocolate and appreciating it. Like it was just like the best thing that could have happened to you. And I see that on a daily basis when I serve hot chocolate to my children in the evening, and they're like delighted to have it. Every time they say delight or the disappointment that we ran out of milk, I'm like, I'm sorry, we don't have milk anymore. So I said, well, put some hot water will do.
Yeah.
Saying that it's amazing to watch them doing things and just learning from them as well. This pure joy.
And the joy, like you correctly said, and if other people have an idea around it, but it is proven that, think when you buy a new car, right? All the excitement, I have a new car, a brand new car, or a second hand, but it's a new car, or it's a new phone because you promise these upgrades every 2 years, and like it's new, it's brand packing new. So your excitement, and then after 2 weeks, like it's just a phone. Right? It's not a new phone anymore. It's just a phone, like the other phones you had before, and it's just a car, like all the other cars you had before, and it's just a pair of shoes, like all the other pairs of shoes you had before. It is proven that like our pleasure from material things plateaus very fast and then actually starts declining after a while. Whereas when you talk about experiences, this is what you were talking about, Justina. When we have experiences, for me, that is going to a gig and a live concert, and I'm not actually filming the gig, right? I'm just in the experience. And in that moment, right, experiences stay with us for a lifetime, right? Some of them anyway. So these experiences, they last forever. And the joy we get from recalling an experience that happened 10 years ago is still roughly the same as being in that experience in the moment. So if you want to enjoy your life more, have more experiences and less things in your life.
Excellent. That's very strong.
It is. It is.
Beautiful.
It is a beautiful thing, yeah. And that's why the 3 things you want to do that day, and the best things that happen to you that day, that they're things that happens, right? They're experiences. They're not necessarily things, right? Yeah. So then you become minimalist, and when you move house, you actually have one skip, you fill it, you don't have a feeling of missing out, you order a second skip, fill that, then you fill a car and take it to a charity organization, then you do, and I still have too much. I still have boxes in the house now that I don't feel like opening these. I don't feel like giving them away, right? Because I don't need more stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beauty as well for me from the lockdown, is that I managed to get rid of a lot of stuff that I didn't really use for a long time. And then I realized that with also trying to look at the positive note, because we know that it's not the easiest time of of your life and just trying to be positive, I just realized that I don't really need many things. I don't think I have bought any clothes this year, to be honest, you know. Oh, maybe some or two essentials. And we're talking about essentials. So something that is essential. So I just then thought, well, I haven't been using whatever I've been using. I've been doing things that, well, intentionally, I said, well, I don't need it. I know it will give me joy or something, but I don't need it. I'll stick what I have for the moment. And that was very transformative as well. You know, just not going and gathering things, but actually appreciating what you already have and seeing if you can look at it from a different perspective. Or maybe take up a new hobby and just create something out of your old clothes, you know? It's a very creative hobby and can give you a lot of joy and pastime activity and pride that you've made it yourself, you know?
Absolutely. And I think creativity, like I've often had people come to me and say, like, yeah, but I'm not really creative, Patrick, right? And that is not true. Everyone is creative. Some people are very creative with words. Other people are very creative in their friendships. Other people are very creative in the way they organize things. Other people are very creative in music. But everyone has that creativity within them. It's just finding what you enjoy doing, and your creativity will express itself. Right? In the joy. You talked about the joy earlier, Justina. Yeah. So in that joy, the expression of creativity cannot help itself but express itself.
Absolutely.
Through that joy. Yeah, absolutely.
I see that Tim Madden wrote, "Hi Patrick, really believe in well-being and practicing it on a day-to-day basis."
That's fantastic.
And Marquetta Dowling is suggesting the Indian in Lucan village is superb. It's called Kasturi.
I definitely go try that, Marquetta. Absolutely. I go try that. Tim.
Yeah. Can I come in on that?
Yes, you can.
Hi. Well done, Patrick. Very great to see you. Pity we're missing you already in Limerick. I miss our Saturday mornings in the milk market for coffee and chat and just to meet you and just to meet your warmth and your energy. I think the market is just such a magic place. Totally undervalued by lots of people in Limerick, but it's just great. I wish you well in Dublin. I'm reflecting on what you said earlier about the burnout and the corporate stuff, and I'm reflecting on the marathons because I've run a lot of marathons myself. Going further back to the 80s, early 80s, the start of the Dublin Marathon and Boston, and kind of reflecting why was I doing all of that. But I kind of went through a similar thing a few years ago, which Justina will be aware of. I felt I was like an accident waiting to happen. It's an interesting term for you. And the accident did happen in 2017, and I survived it. I luckily I just had to I luckily came through it. Very, very luckily. Mentally came through it. It was a tragedy I witnessed, but it then provoked a whole lot of other stuff, questions, a bit like COVID. Why am I doing this? Why am I chasing that? Why am I, etc. And I found that during that period, that time out, a couple of things. One is I decided to stop drinking completely, which after about 6 weeks, I got complete new energy. Really great energy, which thankfully I still have. And I was able to go back and play soccer, and I was able to go back and do the things I love to do and get out and meet people. Because for years, I wasn't drinking heavily, but I was drinking, and I think I was kind of clouded or maybe depressed with it or something. It was kind of strange. And the other thing I found this year during COVID, I refound a thing called Qigong.
Yes.
A form of kind of a cross between Tai Chi and yoga. And there's wonderful materials up on YouTube, and they're just 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's a bit like first thing in the morning or etc. And I've also now actually found a new national well-being program. I'd love to talk to you about it maybe again, which I'm about to deliver in the Burn with the GAA.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a national going well program.
Mm-hmm.
Initially schools, and then we're taking it to communities, and then we're taking it into business. So I'm very energized about that new project. And I'm based at the Michael Cusick Centre in Carron. And Michael Cusick is the founder of the GAA.
Mm-hmm.
And Carron is just a stunning landscape. If any of you get time after lockdown, come up to Carron and just walk in the Carron Turlock and the Carron landscape. It is just unreal, really great. So just thank you, Pat. Good to see you. And
good to see you too. Yeah.
Let's keep in touch. So,
oh no, definitely. I'll be a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
Yeah. I've been working with just affiliated. I've been working with Justina on the development side of the festival. So we have ambitious plans for the 15th festival, which is probably next year or the year after. We hope to move into a space where there are going to be monthly events, or certainly quarterly events, for the artistic community, and we plan to do an e-commerce space and a few other things like that.
So. Okay, fantastic, Tim. Look forward to hear about all your work, especially that around the work you're doing with the well-going. And if you look up a wonderful person I've come across who is teaching Qigong, I think she's a master, is Irina Popova.
Have you ever heard of her? Write down that name. Yeah.
Irina Popova is Popova. I have a friend of mine who I'm involved in a business with, John Donnelly from Maynooth, actually just up the road here from me.
Yeah.
And we've set up a new global online platform called Your Holistic Academy. I would say look that up, Tim.
What is how do you spell that, Pat?
Your Holistic Academy.
I'm going to write it down here.
Yes. So Your Holistic Academy is a new global online platform for holistic practitioners, which was set up by John Donnelly from Maynooth.
Okay.
After coming across me as I was stripping as the opening speaker in a conference, but that's a different story.
Okay.
He asked me to get involved, and I'm now on the board of that organization for my sins, doing something else as well. So,
well done.
And John is actually on way to become a Qigong master.
Okay.
And his trainer is Irina Popova.
Okay. And there's a guy, just to share it with you, there's a guy called Jeff, JEFFCHAND, Chand.
Yeah.
Have you seen him on YouTube?
Yes.
Jeff is out in, he's in California.
Yeah.
So he's got the, there's lots of people I'm sure out there doing it.
Absolutely. So that's
I've been in Nick Gudge's, you probably know Nick in Limerick, Nick's Tai Chi school for about 3.5 years. But I found that I was missing classes and I was falling behind. And then, the last thing you want to be doing is going into a class, like an intermediate Tai Chi class, and you're at beginner's level and you just look silly in there. And then
personally,
anything that works. Anything that works. Excellent. I don't know, is Joanna or Marketa want to ask a question? If not, we'll let Patrick go, because I'm sure you're very busy with all your unpacking and everything.
I always have time for my friends.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. And I really feel very privileged having you guys around, and I really appreciate that. And each and every one of you. We're keeping fingers crossed for all the applications Polytouch Festival has sent, for all the mentorships that I have applied. Still keeping fingers crossed for that, because I believe that it's essential for everyone. Thank you so much, Patrick. Lovely seeing you. Tim, thank you for connecting all the time, for being in touch. You're doing amazing work and helping out a lot. And thank you to Marketa and Joanna Bye. Have a lovely evening. Marketa, I love your interiors. I think I have to see you. You're just amazing interior designer.
Just before you go, reflecting on your Mexican hat behind you, behind your head, I was thinking of Diego Maradona. Sorry.
You're talking about this?
Yeah, it looks like a Mexican hat.
That's mandala, and you don't want to see this is such a fantastic mock-up so that you can't see somebody's entering the room, because my room, essentially you can see anything. So I got creative in putting something that can match Marketa's designs.
I'm just watching videos all day of Diego Maradona, who was just fantastic. But Patrick, which would, and others.
I remember Diego Maradona.
Mexico was one of these great occasions, in the World Cup and stuff. But I'm just reflecting on the energy and the night. I was thinking Maradona when I saw your big Mexican hat.
It was a privilege and a pleasure meeting up with everyone here, as it is usually. To meet up with wonderful people. My pleasure is in connecting with people. I feel like the connection is happening, whether it's online, whether it's whatever. But go and connect with everyone you can meet, right? Today I went walking on the Grand Canal, for people who know Dublin a little bit, from Hazel Hatch to what's it called? That big estate. Marketa will know what I'm talking about.
Adamstown.
No, the other side.
Oh, you went the other way, from Hazel Hatch further out, or Hazel Hatch towards Dublin?
No, away from Dublin. What's it called? There's a big estate there. Do you know Tony Ryan used to own it?
Yes, Lyons Estate.
Lyons, thank you.
Yeah, so that's where Danielle Ryan lives, yeah.
Right, that's it. So I went walking down there by the Grand Canal with the dog today, and then the amount of people I met and connected with, people I'd never met before. Connections are not just something you do with friends and people you've known your entire life. You can have fleeting connections with human beings in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. When you stop, let each other's dogs sniff each other, say nice words to each other, greet each other, ask each other for the dog's name and walk on. That's a connection, right? That's why walking like this through a city or a town or a village or in the forest, rather than like this, will change your life. Absolutely. So
there's a great pub in Hazel Hatch anyway. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I heard. Yeah. Fantastic. They're kind of closed right now. We're like.
They are, yeah.
And yesterday I was in Rathcoole Park. I never even knew there was a park in Rathcoole, and it's nice and wonderful. Like, so it's that connection with nature, with people, and So do that. Go connect with people in any possible way you can. Connect with nature, connect with animals, and do that. Right? Don't stop gathering stuff. Gather experiences and gather connection. And then you too will never get the flu again and never get a cold again. And I promise that. That is not just a false promise. I promise you that when you adapt that lifestyle, it is impossible for you to become sick, right? Because there is no imbalance anywhere. There's no imbalance, you don't get sick, right? And I feel confident I'm saying that. It's literally, I don't have a GP, okay? I don't have one. I didn't have one in Limerick either, So it's possible, right? So go enjoy yourself. One of the 3 things I'm going to write down this evening before I go to bed, the 3 best things that happened today, is this.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure connecting with you.
Number 2.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna also say thank you for our tech person, because he's been I lost my hope, because Vodafone is not working in Ireland today, and my friends are saying our Vodafone is down. So I am very grateful. I'm gonna put that down as well. Although I don't like technology, and I think I have enough of it. I really want to meet you guys.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for coming in today, and have a lovely evening.
All right.
All the best in Dublin.
Thank you so
Good night,
much.
guys.
Say hello to Laura.
Bye. I'll give you all a shout when I'm back in Limerick in the new year. Right?
Do.
See you guys.
Do.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.